Welcome to the Carbon Digital Solutions channel. Here we have my personal laptop. It's a bit older now, and so it does show some signs of aging. It's still quite fast and useful for what I need it to do. And today I'm going to be doing a little bit of maintenance on it. The charging port decided that it was going to kind of loosen up inside the case, so I bought a replacement here, and we're just going to go ahead and swap out this part. As a side note, keep your pets away from the project. We want to make sure the laptop is completely powered off before beginning. Now I'm just skipping forward a little bit. No need to see the computer running updates. Okay, we're just going to flip it over and remove the battery now that it's off. And take off my watch. I don't like wearing jewelry when I'm working on stuff. A little bit of a habit I picked up when I used to work on cars. Here I got my power drill. I'm going to go ahead and take the clutch and turn it all the way to its lowest setting. It's very easy to over torque these little screws, and there's not much there holding them in place to begin with. Also going to remove the little USB dongle for my wireless mouse. It can get in the way of working on the laptop, so might as well pull it out now. And now we just start removing screws. Sorry to ruin the mystique of video recording here, but the phone ends up being a pretty good viewfinder because I have no idea where the GoPro is pointed at half the time. Just wearing it on my head there. All right, now we're just going to continue our disassembly here. And now I'm going to begin working on removing the two hard drives that are in this laptop. One I added that's a solid state. I replaced the original hard drive with that, and then I moved the original hard drive over to the second bay where it's just used as data storage. Now I'm just checking to make sure I haven't missed any screws that I need to take off in order to get the back cover. Again here, I'm just kind of looking to make sure that there's no more screws. Pulling off the back cover is always the part that can be a little risky if you try to force it. You want to be very gentle, because again, it's just a thin layer of plastic, so it's pretty susceptible to cracking if you put too much pressure on it or try and pull too hard. And of course, anything plugged into that back panel against the circuit board would also, cause damage to all the circuitry in there. So you just got to be really careful. All right, you can see just one screw holding that DVD drive in there. Just going to slide that out. And look, 3 more screws right there. I'm just going to test the back plate, start kind of gently pulling, and see if it comes up with me. Starts to come up freely. And again, this is why you just got to move slow when you're working with these things, because there's always something you might have missed. There we go. There's a little plug there that I got to get. Just working to pry it off there. Switch over to the GoPro so you can get a kind of a view of what I'm doing there. And it's off. Again, just checking to make sure there's no other wires that came with it. Go ahead and set that aside. Now the part I'm looking for is the charging port. It's this little piece here in the upper right corner. And you can see that it used to have a screw that held it in place, but it's gone. It's missing. Now here I just pry gently and kind of wiggle the plug back and forth to get it out of there. I don't want to pull too hard. I don't want to use any tools because I don't want to damage anything. And there it is. I have the new one and the old one here side by side for comparison. You can see the newer one has a much longer cable, which I thought would be problematic, but it ended up being too bad because I was able to kind of tuck the wires away. Now this one didn't have a screw to hold it in place. Instead, there's two tabs that it happened to align with within the case there. And so it's actually just secured with tabs on this style plug here. Now, oddly enough, these are the same part number from what I did in my research. So it's very interesting that the design had changed slightly. Here I'm just kind of struggling to get the wires to kind of tuck away and be clear of the hinge there. I want to make sure that it's going to work all right once I close everything up, and the cables aren't going to rub or there's too much side pressure on the plug there. Because you can see that as I kind of adjust the wires, the plug wanted to come out of the socket. And there we go. I've got it. Apparently I forgot to actually press record when I put the back cover on and then slid in those hard drives and the DVD drive, but they pretty much go in the exact same way they came out. You can see here I'm putting in the set screw for the DVD drive. That's the only thing that holds it in place. And since I'm working near the RAM stick and the tip is slightly magnetic, I go ahead and put the extension on there and I work to secure those guys. Now it's time to put all the screws back in. Now you can see I'm not even bothering with the power drill here to put the screws back in because I definitely don't want to over torque them. They're very sensitive because they're very fine threads and they're very small screws, so over tightening would be disastrous. So I'm barely putting any torque on them to begin with when I tighten these down. Maybe less than a 1/16 of a turn after you meet resistance on the screw there. Now here I'm just kind of looking around to make sure I haven't missed any screws. And now it's time to put the little access cover back on the laptop. This one you just need to kind of press down a little bit so that the plastic clips set. Okay, moment of truth here. Gonna power it on and let's see what happens. And there you have it. If you guys would like to hire us for a similar issue you might be having with your computer, you can visit us at carbondigitalsolutions.com and we'd be more than happy to help. See you next time.